Hey, what is up, lovelies? It's Lynn, the Gacha Goblin, and we're going to talk and have a yap session about Xavier's story branch. Now, interestingly enough, I was only able to play this yesterday, and that's why I haven't been posting anything lately. I've been a little bit busy with life, and I also celebrated a family's birthday, so I do apologize for, taking my time on this one. However, after experiencing Xavier's main story branch, I have a few thoughts. I have my notebook in front of me, I have some notes, and let's just discuss. Okay, this is it's not gonna be in an organized thought process here. I'm just gonna start rambling. So if you want to turn me on and, maybe not that phrasing. If you want to put me to the side and just listen to me while I do some other work, that would be nice. Okay, so let's start off with the very beginning. And it's so interesting how, the main thing that kind of caught me off guard is how, I don't know, unaware and not curious the MC is about Xavier. There are so many points in this story where she's just like, huh, that's weird. Anyway, let's continue on with the mission. And I'm just like, dude, you're not gonna ask questions about your partner? And there was that very beginning where, you get to choose the answer between asking Xavier if he's been looking for the ether cores for a very long time, even before he became a hunter. And I was like, oh cool, we're gonna finally get some backstory. She's finally gonna learn more about him besides the backtrackers and whatnot. And it just doesn't really lead to anything, and it's just very frustrating. Yes, there were those cute scenes that they had together in the basketball court and whatnot, and it's nice. There is some comedy mixed into the whole story branch, but I really wanted to see the MC I don't know, realize, oh, look at this and look at that, look at how amazing Xavier is. But that didn't actually happen. It really frustrated me. The biggest thing that didn't the biggest thing that frustrated me was when MC, she just wasn't connecting the dots, and she saw an old picture of Xavier on in that guy's laboratory or whatever, and I'm just like, you're not gonna ask him? You're not gonna ask him about that? You're not gonna point out, hey, look at that, it's a picture of you? Yeah, that frustrated me. And then at the very end, of the entire thing, because we're talking about one topic here, so I'm gonna be skipping around in the timeline of this story branch. But at the very end, Xavier's fighting oh, you can ask me any question that you like, and I will answer anything that you want. And she's like, nah, I'm not gonna ask you any questions. And I'm like, hey, what? She goes, I'm not gonna ask you any questions. At least I know you're not my enemy. And I'm just like, girl, he has been saving your ass since the beginning. Since the very first time you met him. What do you mean he's not your enemy? Oh, you should know that by now. Very frustrating. That was the most frustrating thing about the branch story itself, was just how I don't know what word you would call it, aloof the MC is when it comes to Xavier. That being said, the story branch had a lot of lore and a lot of information that if you didn't already know, or if you need a refresher on, it gave you a lot, and it's actually very helpful because I needed a refresher on some of this. So we had the Morris Thorn wormhole. Is a traversal wormhole. It's a spherically symmetrical and features throat features that bridges two black holes. Throat is a finite spherical region containing negative energy density matter to counteract gravitational forces inside the wormhole to keep the throat open. Time travel is possible in this model. Likely, it's what the Deepspace tunnel is. Very interesting little piece of lore here. There has been a lot of things circulating in the community right now that gravity and, gravity specifically is related to Caleb. So when I saw this whole spiel about the gravity that holds open the throat, and I'm just like, why do we have to name it a throat? Now it's just the deep throat tunnel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, alright, continuing on. Let's see. And I also had a question. If anybody actually caught on to this, what or who guided the MC through the proto field? Like, you know those like shooting stars that you kept seeing? I wonder what guided MC to Xavier in that moment, because she could have been wandering everywhere else, but there were like these shooting stars that were, described in the story that were trying to lead her to Xavier. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was, and I don't really have any theories on that. I mean, it could have just been like Xavier's heart or something like that, trying to subconsciously trying to save himself or whatnot. But if anybody has any better explanation, please do leave that in the comments down below. And let's see, so the proto field that was created, this is actually a very sweet little piece of information. The proto fields that were created for the other students were actually their deepest fears, their worst fears. And the fact that the proto field that was created for Xavier was when MC died the first time. Oh my god, that was actually very sweet. I really like that. That kind of like it's just a little pang to the heart, like, oh my god, yes. That was perfect. I enjoy those like pain moments. Man, makes me sound like a lore masochist. Anyway, so continuing on. Oh, the backtrackers, right? As Soren, he knew that Xavier's fear was Starfall Forest. Does that mean that all the backtrackers knew that he didn't like what was happening in Starfall Forest? Did he tell them? Is it possible that they didn't know? Because how believable would it be to tell your whole crew of people who are going with you on this mission, hey guys, we're going on this mission because there's some shiz going down in Starfall Forest and we gotta fix that. Like, is that what he explained to the backtrackers? Or do they just know that he was traumatized by the Starfall Forest and never spoke about it again? Because I feel like if Soren knew what happened in the Starfall Forest, he wouldn't have turned bad. But then again, that is just my faith in humanity, so I don't know. And then, let's see. Ooh, I enjoyed seeing Xavier a little bit angry at MC for being quote-unquote reckless, using her Aether Core to, Aether Core? I don't know. To resonate with him and kind of like feed the forest itself. Speaking about feeding something, okay, the spaceship that's inside of the proto field, very interesting little touch there that was added. I enjoyed having that, but I don't know, it was a little bit, I felt a little bit out of place to have the spaceship just there, but I did enjoy the whole little banter back and forth about the little poem that was started playing in the background. That was really sweet. That, I think, is one of the, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the secret times. If it's not a secret time, then it's one of the tender moments, which is very sweet. I think it's secret times because I listened to that the very first time I started playing this game, because Xavier was tempting in being one of my favorite love interests back in the day, but I didn't understand what was happening in his secret times at all, and that really stuck with me. Let's see. Oh, and the little what the mechanical voice, like automated system inside of the spaceship saying Philos 1101 hyphen PLS, that is Xavier's home. But that is so, I feel like there's more to that, like there's more hints to this, and I don't know what it could be. Also, why is PLS please? Like, it's like saying Philos please. That could just be a little nonsensical thing that I was talking about, but it just bugs me for some reason. I don't know why that bugs me. Also, as a deep space hunter, shouldn't the MC know that Philos is the planet that can be seen from afar? Like, shouldn't she know those things if she's supposed to know where wanderers come from? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But let me just look at my notes, see if there's anything else here that I want to talk about. Oh, and the spaceship being powered by evil in emergency situations. Interesting. Now, is it possible that because Xavier is so, sleepy and whatnot, do you think that when he crashed, in whatever time that he crashed, right? Because we know that he had an emergency landing. Do you think that he used up a lot of his evil to try and land the spacecraft carefully in a not designated time? Do you think that that's possible? And that's why he's so sleepy all the time, because he used up a lot of his evil. I wonder. It's just taking him like a very, very long time to recharge. He's his own battery. But interesting enough, it's also interesting to hear the MC say that she can't fully resonate with Xavier. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think this is the first time she mentions this, that she can't resonate with Xavier completely, like there's something blocking him, and immediately that thing around his neck, installed by Ever, kind of tells me that, oh, there's something, instead of like, how Silas has those like shackles inside of him, whatnot, that needs to be released through resonating with MC. I feel like Xavier's situation is a lot different than that, but very similar also. And his full potential cannot be released at all. Maybe that's why he can't fully recover either, and that's why he's always so sleepy. But that was very interesting to have that reference to, since my theory is it was, placed on him in his very first anecdote, right? Which is what this branch story is linked to. The fact that they did a little callback here, and that they're bringing in conversations about Ever, very, very fun. This is just making me very excited for the next main story update. I don't know how many chapters we're going to get in the next main story update. I also don't know if we're gonna get a new love interest with that main story update. I feel like they need to do a little bit more building, like world building on Ever, before introducing a new love interest, is my theory, but I could be wrong. Again, Infold is very, very unpredictable in terms of story like this. But those are my thoughts about the main story branch. To sum it up, it would be 1, MC, why are you so weird? 2, all of the lore that was dropped, and 3, everything with Xavier. He was just very, very sweet in this whole story branch, if you ask me. He was sweet, supportive, very funny, and I also liked it when he was angry. But that is pretty much it. If you have any thoughts about the main story branch, leave it down in the comments below. And thank you all so much for watching. If you want to subscribe to the channel, I cover Love and Deep Space as much as I can. And I am debating whether or not to play Infinity Nikki. Okay, well, that is everything. Thank you all so much for watching. I am Lynn, the Gacha Goblin, and I will see you lovelies in the next video. Goodbye now.